of the EPA is in East Palestine, Ohio, the scene of that toxic train derailment. He's meeting with residents and government leaders to assess the situation. In the days since the derailment, thousands of fish have turned up dead. Many worry that the controlled explosive release of chemicals from the train has contaminated the town. The EPA says it is closely monitoring air quality and has screened at least 450 homes for containments.
People were getting sick. We should not have been let back into town until all of this was done.
We will continue to evolve with the situation and apply the necessary resources to ensure that people are protected. We are here for as long as it takes.
Train operator Norfolk Southern says that it will create a $1 million charitable fund and plans to reimburse residents. It also says cleanup at that site is underway.
To I-Team 8 now, and the environmental engineering expert fighting disinformation about the impact of the East Palestine train derailment.
I-Team 8's Cody Fisher found out how the derailment impacts Hoosiers.
Purdue University professors tell me that despite what you might be seeing online, Hoosiers should not be concerned about contaminated water because of the train derailment. Andrew Welton is a professor teaching environmental and ecological engineering. He's been following this situation in East Palestine from the very beginning, and he's seen misinformation being spread online about the impact to Hoosiers.
There's a whole bunch of people pushing a lot of information that's just not true, not possible. There's no way that West Lafayette's drinking water can be contaminated by the disaster that occurred 7-hour drive from here.
His colleague Linda Lee agrees. She studies environmental contamination. She says people here should not even be concerned about air pollution caused by the burning of the chemical from the derailed train.
Unless we get wind currents that bring some of that over here, we don't expect to be impacted, and by the time it travels very far, I would expect most of it to be gone or diluted.
Basically, it's like putting dye in a bathtub, right? You put a lot of red dye in a bathtub, it will be really dark. But as you fill that bathtub up with more and more water, the amount of chemical that's present is kind of being diluted, and it doesn't pose that. So the primary risk is right in the immediate area where the detonation occurred, where the liquids were discharged into the rivers and streams and killed fish.
Wilton told I-Team 8 people should pay attention to our upstream neighbors along the Ohio River for any concerning signs of contamination.
Cincinnati has been doing a lot of water testing. All these different cities up along the Ohio River are not worried about the contamination coming down the Ohio River. So people in Indiana, especially those living down by the Ohio River, have nothing to worry about.
One professor told me that the decision by the crews in East Palestine to release the chemical and burn it very early on after the derailment likely lessened the contamination to the groundwater because it was released into the atmosphere in a less harmful form. Reporting in Indianapolis, Cody Fisher, Wish TV, I-Team 8.